We have to also be in gratitude to Sylvain. What time is it, Sylvain?
It's 1:30.
How you feel?
I feel good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. So Sylvain will take us through a demonstration of the tool, give us a feel for what it is, and then we can start to ask him some technical questions.
Essentially, the solution to the problem of having everything quick was to create a copy of the data set and put it on the client's computer and do everything from there. So at least just the part of the data set that we care about. So that's the page that's loading.
Is it loading or did it load it?
Yeah, it loaded. Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah, that's because the solution was to make a copy of the data set. So everything's cached on my computer, so I don't have to go to query.
So that's what that is on the upper left. It says cache updated.
Yeah, I cached this a few minutes ago, and it'll refresh the cache every once a week. If you refresh the cache, this is where it'll do the enormous amounts of threads, splitting up the query. The data set is 27,000 rows across 160 columns. And I think I cut it so that it has about 5,000 results in each, but I also slice it vertically. So the fields, instead of sending all of the fields all at once for each query, I break up each query into, I think, 12 different chunks this way and merge it all together in the client. The whole thing takes however long that took. We can take a look at the data.
Now the point being there is that this client doesn't need the data being exactly real time because it's the product data, which isn't changing that much. But if they ever have any kind of need for that, they can hit refresh cache, make sure that they have the most current things there.
Exactly. And so what'll happen if you don't come back to your computer in a week and boot it up, and it'll refresh automatically, or you can refresh cache. The idea is we want to be able to search things quickly. And so if I type pump up there, it just filters everything and shows me all the pumps. If I select some things here, it filters everything and shows me all those things. And I click on here and get some location data. Now, instead of having to query back and forth every time for all of the data, we do it at the beginning, we cache the data.
So what's really cool about this is that we're taking advantage of the power of the browser. And the browsers are so powerful now. There's so much capacity in the browser that's just totally unutilized in the NetSuite normal way of doing things. We could create cached apps that could be mobile. There's all kinds of things you could do with the fact that we're storing data on that browser. So maybe you want to show a little bit, the speed of how they would use it. I think it was good how you show pump. You have different views and various other kinds of things that you're doing. I guess they got to get images for everything there.
Yeah, so any item that doesn't have images is going to look like that. You can change the views here. This is just front-end UI stuff, so you can have different groupings. And here, if you change this, it'll automatically search and apply the filters here. You also have different categories. You can see all the different kinds of categories. This corresponds to all the custom item fields. Each item field is going to have one of these filter categories, filter sort of groups. Then you can filter down on their values here. And counts are updated dynamically as you filter and select things. So here, let me search for Arctic. And then the page also loads on demand so that you don't slow down the browser if you have like 100,000 or 10,000 items. And that's the app.
So, okay, guys, now saying a lot there, and the app is relatively simple, but this is not common NetSuite experience, but this is just NetSuite. This is what it looks like to do certain kind of development on the NetSuite platform using certain kind of patterns for the front end, opening up a space for innovation for which many times people think I need to buy another tool and I need that other tool to ship the data over, and I got to build a synchronization to that tool because they want this experience. We're showing, no, you don't have to do that. We don't have to do all that integration. We keep extending the capacity of the tool. And of course, we can make it look like anything we want.